Brad Williams, XL Primed. What we're going to do here is we're going to find city based on closest budget. What we're implementing here is just an index and a match, but then we're going to manipulate the numbers in order to achieve the objective, and that is to find the city with the closest budget. Hit F9. Cities don't mean a thing. We have a budget. What we want to do is find the city that matches as close as possible our budget. How we do it? We're going to look at this index based on city. Here's our name range, city 267 B5 to B14. We're going to match. We're going to find the row. But within match, we can mess around inside a match to narrow this down. And what we did was we're going to use the min and the absolute. We're going to take our number. We're going to do a little subtraction. Budget minus E5. So take your budget minus E5. That's a negative number. So that's why we have the absolute. That will shrink our number. If it's a number, let's say it's $1,000 and we subtract 1,000 from 1326, it's going to give us negative 326. Then our absolute value is going to turn that into 326. If we subtract 1,000 from 2101, it's going to be 1101, and we throw a min in here in order to find the lowest number. That's going to be our lookup value, and then our lookup array is going to be this number here, the budget 267 C5 to C14. So we're just trying to squeeze this and find the smallest number. Then over here we have an XLOOKUP. We'll get into that in a second. Here I broke this down. I broke this formula down so you can see it, visualize it. I just took the absolute budget. So we got budget 267 here, budget 267, which is C5 to C14, minus E5, minus E5, minus $1,000. Got that? We take 1326 minus E5, 326, 1101, 1339, so on and so forth. If you see this Houston 1206, probably going to be the low number. Then we go over, find min. That's our lookup value, our lookup array, our lookup value 206. Then match comes in and goes, what row is 206? 206. Then we want to look up our cities. Our city, here is our formula right here. And I'm just going right to left. Sorry, I didn't point that out. Here, we took this absolute value right here. I took the min right here, min budget. Then I just matched it all within the match. I went in here to city, which is, see where it says city? I just put it all together. That's it. It looks more complicated than it is. But the key thing here is, well, how do you get the minimum? Well, you're going to have this 1,000. You're going to subtract one from the other. And in the end, the outcome is, Houston, you could just copy this down. Got it? And then over here, we just look up XLOOKUP. We have a lookup value, 0. Our lookup array, our lookup 0, our lookup array, that looks exactly like, looks like this right here. Yeah? Absolute C5, well, budget 267 is C5, C14. I didn't put in the name range. And if we hit F9, we're going to see exact same thing, 326, 11, 13, 205. Then we go to our return array. That's the difference here. Index is the equivalent of the return array. Here, XLOOKUP had to change its name a little bit. You couldn't put index array, you had to put return array. And we hit F9. What are we going to do? We have our if not found. Now here's the deal with XLOOKUP. We have options. We have if not found, match mode, and search mode. If you don't want to include the if not found, and you need to include match mode, notice there's an empty space here. Just put a comma, comma, and address the match mode. Okay, it's 1. Go down here to XLOOKUP, look up match mode, 1. Notice it's an exact match or next larger. fool around. I'm not going to explain how this works. I want you to do it. I want you to go ahead and put in a -1 and a 0 and see the results. Outside of that, read it if you need it. I kind of explained it piece by piece, and this map here should pretty much detail. It's the details over here showed over in the map. The anatomy, break it down if you need to. Fred Williams, XL Prime.